Today's story is about a tremendous Motown performer, writer, and producer. He's most known for his work with the Jacksons, writing multiple hits for them, as well as other hits for other Motown acts. Willie Hutch is one of Motown's most underlooked songwriters, producers, and artists of all time. Now, before we get started in today's video, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. William McKinley Hutchison was born on December 6, 1944 in Los Angeles, California to Frank Allen Hutchison and May Riley Hutchison. As a child, his family relocated to Dallas, Texas. Growing up in a musical family, he developed an interest in singing as a child. While attending Booker T. Washington High School, he graduated in 1962. Around the same time, as a teen, he joined a local band named the Ambassadors, where he began writing his own songs. By 1964, he decided to take music seriously and chase the music career, also shortening his name to Willie Hutch. The same year, at the age of 20, he would release his first ever single under a local label called Soul City Records, with this single being called Love Has Put Me Down. His efforts here helped him secure a recording contract with RCA Records, where he would record 2 albums with Soul Portrait and Seasons for Love. His talent to create songs around this period helped him establish himself as a brilliant songwriter, even drawing the notice of the group, The Fifth Dimension. Hutch quickly began composing, producing, and arranging music for the group as well as other artists. Some of his early work includes these songs from The Fifth Dimension, California My Way,
California my way, any day.
Learn How to Fly,
Guess I'll learn how to fly. I guess I'll learn that's the only way.
I'll Be Loving You Forever,
I'll be loving you forever, my darling. We'll be breaking up now.
Train to Keep On Moving, and Too Poor to Die. These singles for the marvelous Something's Burning,
Since I met you, baby, I can't explain this.
and We Go Together.
Standing by the pet shop with his nose pressed against the window.
Also these singles for the major 4, The Little Girl Mine,
She never comes around telling me how much she loves me. Still
Just Another Lonely Night,
morning, seems to
and All of My Love.
now listen to me.
By 1970, Hutch was contacted by producer Hal Davis to assist him in finishing a song for Motown's newly phenomenal group, the Jackson 5. I'll Be There was the name of this song.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Now, this song was such a smash hit that Berry Gordy immediately recruited Hutch. Gordy signed Hutch that next morning after the group had finished recording the song. When Hutch signed with Motown, he was hired as a staff writer, arranger, producer, and eventually a performer. During the early 70s, Hutch wrote many songs for many different artists, including the Jackson 5's How Funky Is Your Chicken and I Can Only Give You Love, as well as arranging their song Never Can Say Goodbye. He produced Michael Jackson's album Got to Be There, also producing Smokey Robinson's Smokey album, and as well as Marvin Gaye's You're the Man album, which was recorded in 1972 but was released in 2019. By 1973, Hutch started his solo career in Motown. That same year, he would release several charted hits, including Brothers Gonna Work It Out,
Brothers gonna work it out. Brothers gonna work it out. Brothers gonna work it out. Brothers gonna
Slick,
Oh yeah. Walking fast, talking trash.
Sunshine Lady,
Been a month of Sunday sugar, yeah.
and If You Ain't Got No Money, You Can't Get No Honey.
Oh, it made a lot of sense to me, yeah, yeah.
These hits was followed by his debut solo album for the label called Fully Exposed, which peaked at 182 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 15 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. Hutch had the privilege to produce the soundtrack for the film The Mac that same year, which peaked at 114 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 17 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. Hutch was granted the privilege again by producing the 1974 film soundtrack Foxy Brown, which peaked at 179 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 36 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. Also that same year, he released another album called Mark of the Beast, which peaked at number 41 on the Billboard Top R&B Album charts. That next year, 1975, Hutch released two charted singles with Get Ready for the Get Down and Love Power.
Love power. Talking about love power.
In 1974, he would release another album called Ode to My Lady, which peaked at 150 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 24 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. From 1976 to 1977, Hutch was on a roll and he would release 3 albums with Color Her Sunshine, which peaked at number 54 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts, Concert in Blues, which peaked at 163 on the Billboard 200 charts and number 22 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. These 2 albums was released in 1976, and that next year in 1977, Hutch released Having a House Party, which peaked at number 26 on the Billboard Top R&B Albums charts. By late 1977, Hutch completed his contract with Motown and he had signed with Norman Whitfield's label, Whitfield Records. While the outcomes wasn't as good as their original pitch, Hutch he found himself back at Motown Records by 1972. Upon his return at Motown, Hutch would release a hit called In and Out.
Around and around.
When this song was published, this song became a tremendous disco smash. When Hutch returned to Motown, the first thing he did was record 2 tracks for the 1985 Motown film, The Last Dragon, which was The Glow
Now all the masters know that you need to glow, you need to glow, to glow, to grow. If you love to live, you live.
and Inside You.
For reality. Or soon you'll we.
Hutch released the album Making a Game Out of Love in 1985. That same year, he had a massive club hit with Keep On Jamming.
Keep on jamming.
By 1989, Hutch had left Motown for good, and he began recording for a variety of labels, including Amani, Midwest, GG, and It Records. Hutch returned to Dallas in 1994, where he would spend the remainder of his life. Hutch will sadly pass away on September 19, 2005 at the age of 60. Now, Hutch was survived by his 6 children and 10 grandchildren and counting. Everything that I have presented you guys about the legendary Willie Hutch had came from various interviews and other sources on the internet. Now, if you personally know Mr. Hutch or know anything that I have missed, please leave me in the comment section below